the DORK podcast with Rich Keefe. It's the DORK podcast. Keefe Davey. It's the DORK podcast. Hashtag. It's the hashtag DORK podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Dork. My name is Rich Keefe, joined as always by Davey Eyeballs. He is known across this great land as Davey Deep Dick. He is Rick Rude Vaughn Dick Dude. You all know who it is.
It's Ryan. It's Ryan. It's my Ryan. My Ryan.
Oh, hail the king of ginger ale. It's Ryan. Davey, how are you?
Not great, Rich. Not having a good day.
What happened to you?
Well, as you know, so as they say with boarding schools, the more you pay, the less you go, right? So instead of doing February or April vacation, we do like 2.5 weeks in March. So I'm technically on break right now.
Got it.
You'd think I'd be great. I've had a sick kid home with me every day.
Not great.
For the first 2 days, right?
Yep.
And I decided, all right, I'm going to make myself useful today. I'm going to do something.
Nice.
So
Nice.
in my office, if you look right to my left, stage right for you, but my left, right? There's the Peloton, which I love. And then my wife has a treadmill, which is a complete fucking eyesore. They're like, it's big.
Disaster.
It's in the way. It's just used for hanging clothes on. No one touches it, right? So I'm like, I'm going to move this thing today. So to get it out the door, so it's one of those ones that like stands up. So like takes up less space, but like the track can like raise up.
So it like folds in.
It kind of folds up like a little bit, right?
Yeah,
so I take part of it apart. So I take the top part off and I'm like, all right, so I got to get the track through the door. But in order to do that, I have to turn it sideways to get it through the door. Right. And this thing weighs like 300 pounds. So I'm like pushing it through the thing. So I get it on its side. And the thing that makes it stand up apparently is like fucking spring loaded because the legs shot out and they hit me right on the front of my toe.
Oh, no.
I fucking broke my toe.
Oh.
There's a huge gash on the tip of my big toe and it ripped the nail completely off.
Just right off.
Just
smooth
right
off.
off. Right the fuck off. So like, look at this. And I'm going to show it to you.
You're going to show it to everybody. I don't know if I was. It's all wrapped up.
It's all wrapped up. It's like in a bandage. I can't even put fucking shoes on right now.
Are you going to unwrap it and show us?
No, I took a picture. So anybody who wants to see it, I took a picture. DM me on Twitter if you want to see what my toe looks like and just be ready.
Oh.
We're going for the wrong kind of gas. So that's how my vacation week started. I got 2 sick kids and I fucking shattered my foot.
So now you're just like limping around the house?
Oh yeah, walking on the side of my foot. Like I can't, So there's that.
You're going to have problems, just like everything else. But stay positive and stay strong.
Well, I'm really sorry to hear that, Ryan. That is
it sucks. And on your, by the way, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, show everybody the birthday present I got you.
Look at this behind me right here.
Yeah.
The mini helmet, the one and only St. Paul's School mini helmet. Look at that beauty. And
they don't
again,
make that anymore.
This is a throwback. They don't even wear, it's like Pat Patriot. They don't wear these helmets anymore.
They don't.
Ever since they changed the helmet.
The second worst high school football team I've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
Well, because now the only team that we would consistently beat, we would go 1-7 every year. And the only team we would consistently beat is the school where I currently work. And we went 0-8 this year.
That checks out for sure. Yeah. And what's funny about this is I was able to receive this helmet because your wife and my wife went to a live show of a podcaster show together.
Right.
And she handed it up and I was like, so you want to go see this podcaster? He came to Boston live. I go, we've done, I'm not sure how many live shows, and you've never been to one.
I think my wife has been to one.
Your wife has.
Yeah.
My wife has not. But guess what, folks? They have an opportunity to not go to another live show because 2 months from today, we're back at Idle Hands. We are back at Idle Hands. Hashtag Dork and Mac and Goo, May 15th. So save the date right now. Sunday, May 15th. Exact time, TBD. Exact topic. We have a pretty good idea.
We have an idea, but we're not there yet.
Yeah. Not there yet. But 2 months from now, nice time to get together. The weather should be good, so people could be drinking indoors, outdoors. And for people who've been to some of our live shows, I know we've had some difficulties getting the sound to project to every single seat in there. According to Goo, he has completely figured this thing out.
It only took him like 3 years, but he got it.
Doesn't matter. He figured it out. That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
So if that was your complaint before, or if you're concerned about that, leave your concerns at the door because apparently you can hear us loud and clear everywhere.
Nice.
So
even outside?
I don't know. Let's not ask.
I'm sorry. I'm asking too many
Let's
questions.
ask
I'm asking
questions
too many
everyone
questions.
answers to.
It's fine. Yeah.
Speaking of questions, Ryan, how about this? Sent in from a listener, a hashtag dork trivia, 10 questions about hashtag dork. And I have the answers and the questions.
You're going to ask them to me and I'll see if I can get them.
And people in the chat, if you want to jump in here, you can try to answer these as well. This is from Nathan, and I forget if I mentioned this on the air or off the air to you, but he had Achilles surgery, and so he had just been like laid up with that and then trying to recover from that. So he went back and listened to our entire archive.
You told me that. You told me there was someone who was laid up who just like binged all of the dorkies.
Apparently listened to all of it.
Well, thank you, Nathan, for doing that. Yeah.
Thank you, Nathan. Sounds like more of a chore than anything else. But he says, as a little thank you, he's like, I put together a quick dork trivia.
Okay.
So let's see how you can do here. Excuse me. Question number 1. He said, Ryan Davey famously doesn't give a shit. And for that reason, he has no problem making a death the pick of the pod.
Yeah.
But do you know who the first dead guy pick of the pod was?
The first dead guy pick of the pod, I want to say it wasn't Stan Lee.
No. I did not know the answer. I did not remember. But that's
trying to remember. It was an actor.
Correct.
A male actor.
Correct.
Someone who brought a lot of joy to our life. I don't remember. Who was it?
Stephen First, the guy who played Flounder in Animal House. I'm not laughing at his death. I just
laughing at his death, but that seemed like I felt like we just needed to mention it because he was in a couple other movies that were really funny too. But
yeah, that was your first.
That was my first. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
It's great. It's great. All right, question number 2. Everybody knows Rich loves his IPAs, but famously, Rich is also a fiend for this alcoholic beverage.
That would be a mojito.
That would be correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. Question number 3. Rich and Ryan are famously known as the bad boys of Comic-Con, but do you know what musical group got them into hot water that led to this nickname?
I do, and it's a throw up the pistol and fist. It's Run the Jewels.
It was Run the Jewels. It was Run the Jewels. And you can still see that on our YouTube channel somewhere.
Yeah, we didn't take it down.
Comic-Con.
Comic-Con, where they were like, we don't incite violence, but you have people walking around with fake guns and weapons.
Correct. Question number 4. Rich famously named his daughter Cece after this pop culture icon. A. Cedric Sabalas. B. Chris Collinsworth. C. Cassius Clay. D. Trick question.
It's a trick question. None of those.
He then adds,
big Simon and Garfunkel fan. That's how we know.
He goes, trick question. Rich named his kid Martha, which is the name of both Ryan and Rich's mother. That's
incorrect. We do have mothers with the same name, but that is not their name.
We do. We could have a Superman Batman situation, but we do not. All right, question number 5. The Legion episode, number 9 in the WEEI archives, at the 10:36 mark. He says is also. I like how he refers to all these episodes as famously. Says the Legion episode is famously the least downloaded podcast of the modern #dork era. That is true. This means many people missed the greatest drop that never made the soundboard when Ryan was asked his thoughts on the season 3 opener of Better Call Saul. Ryan said, quote, I'm very much into the show. I did miss it. I was unavoidably detained due to my blank. I don't remember this. I should have gone back and gotten the drop. I did not do that.
All right. I'm trying to think of what was going on because that was in the
Better Call Saul season 3. Shit, that was so long ago.
That was so long ago.
This was
I know. I remember talking about Legion. This is when I was still on the phone, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think so. And I was recording.
Was it like the birth of my second kid?
According to this, and we're going to need to get more information. I should have gone and listened to it. He said you were unavoidably detained due to my butt. Did you have butt problems?
Due to my butt?
That's what it says. Somebody's going to have to go back. And
I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to have to figure it due to my butt. Like what happened?
The #dork historian.
There was no further explanation there. It's just like my butt. And you were like, all right, moving on. Like I feel like you would have stopped me and be like, this needs unpacking here. Not my butt, but the story.
You know what I could probably do? Can I pull this up and play it into the mic? Because he. You know what? Maybe I can.
Yeah, let's try it.
Let's unearth this. It's not on YouTube, unfortunately, but there's got to be another way I can play it.
But I remember, so the least downloaded episode was this, and like looking back on it, I think you and I really wanted to like Legion, and neither one of us did. Like, and I think it was confusing. Like super, but we tried to like be. I remember like trying to speak like eloquently about this show that I really didn't understand. You know, but then I just come up with like butts.
Yeah, but apparently you were talking about, but I don't know if that's a callback because last week we unfortunately ended up doing mostly butt stuff. Here, let me look up if this is even on here. How do I find my podcast? Our podcast.
If you tell me the date too, that might actually give me some indication of what was happening around that time.
Let's see.
In the meantime, what's the next?
I'm going on to this is a little bit of does anybody have any idea what this is? All right, let's go to question number 6. Chuck Teets is a blank.
Oh, I mean, I could go on for. He's a coward. We know he's a coward.
Correct. Coward is the number one answer. He said we would also accept a piece of shit or huge PAX East fan.
He actually works for PAX East.
I love it. It's like coward. Coward's the correct answer.
Yeah.
All right.
New to cure.
Oh, that's
an ad. That's an ad that like somehow EEI gets paid for, but I don't. They run ads on my podcast, and
I don't either.
Goddamn dime of it.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. It's complicated. I can explain the whole thing.
I don't want you to explain. I just want to be mad about it.
Question number 7. Trips to various cons have introduced #dork to a slew of interesting people. Lydia Dietz gave us such iconic drops as I Bring It, which is one of my personal favorites.
I Bring It.
This one as well.
It's doing Junko Inoshima from Danganronpa.
But can you tell me where Lydia Dietz famously had the V for Vendetta logo prominently displayed?
I can't, because this was the only one that I didn't go with you. So this was at Rhode Island Comic-Con where you met her, and I wasn't there. It was the only one time I wasn't there.
Yeah, it was the hood of her car. The hood of her car. Boston Comic-Con gave #dork the greatest interview of all time. Everyone knows Joshua Adams is the CEO and founder of Cosplayer Nation. Joshua Adams also famously claims that he is practically what blank to the cosplay community.
Compassed.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Joshua Adams. I'm CEO and founder of Cosplayer Nation. We did a documentary all about cosplaying across America from Maine to Seattle to Hawaii, Puerto Rico. We've won 3 awards. We're practically compass to the cosplay community, as well as we interviewed the guy who coined the phrase cosplay from the 80s, Tokunishi Takahashi.
Is that Joshua Adams, or is that the Red Sox new radio announcer?
Wait, what do you mean?
He sounds like on Nesson. He sounds like Maserati.
Oh, come on.
He does. Am I wrong? I'm not wrong.
A little bit. Yeah. All right. I think I may have found it.
Okay.
Right. Or thereabouts. Let's see. This is the Legion episode. I'm pulling up the Legion episode. Joe, you will watch the show, whatever else. And then I will add my 2 cents. Okay. Last night, we're recording this on Tuesday. So Monday night, Better Call Saul season 3 debuted. Thoughts?
Yeah, and I'm very much into this show. I did miss it. I was unavoidably detained.
That's fine.
Due to but I'm excited in that. Okay, we kind of had the first season was great.
Right. Yes.
So I was not detained because of my butt. I went to say something else and then moved on.
It sounds like
that, but knowing my own voice, what I was saying was like I was unavoidably detained because of, I was gonna explain why, but I feel like you didn't care, so I just moved on.
It's a great question.
Yeah. So I'm glad that I heard the rhythm of my own voice to tell you that that's what I was saying. But you could chop that up now and say like because of my butt.
Because of my butt. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. I did say that.
Wrong.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 9. Chris Scheim is so much more than just a guy who famously left the greatest midday show in the history of radio. He is also the cornerstone member of Dem Thrones Boys, and also a man whose favorite Batman is a Dick Grayson Batman. In the top 10 Batman comic book episode, how many times did Shime say dick in the span of 30 seconds?
Oh, it had to be like
A 5, B 6, C 9, D 15.
usually when I get these types of questions, I go to the middle. I'm going to go 9.
Correct.
In 30 seconds,
30
he said
seconds,
dick 9
dick
times.
9 times. I should have pulled the audio on that. That's pretty good. That's a good one.
Wow. That's a lot of dicks.
Finally, question number 10. Before Ryan was formerly sponsored by a soda company, he was famously sponsored by a fly-by-night company that sold what?
Grips. Illusion Grips. Spelled ILL. Like illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like I was like, hey man, like I just want to let you know, like I've been plugging your product and like I hope everything's going well. And then they like deleted their Twitter. Like they were gone.
Yeah, like we don't exist.
Yeah. I want to see if they're still like, and I remember it was weird. I meant to bring it up. I remember seeing it like 6 months ago. They randomly tweeted something.
You're like, what?
They hadn't tweeted anything in years. And I'm like,
I can't confirm or deny.
Pretty crazy. All right.
the
So
last time they tweeted, they follow me still on Twitter.
That's a win.
And the last time they tweeted something was November 25th, 2021. Says happy Thanksgiving.
Well, nice words.
Man. Yeah.
Very kind. Very, very kind. So pretty good stuff there. Nathan, thank you for the trivia question. Hopefully everybody played along at home and everybody did very, very well.
By the way, my math was totally off on that.
This week in DORK.
I was like, my math was totally off. It was 2020, 11, 2021. That wasn't that long ago. I said a year. It wasn't that long ago.
That was like 4 months.
Yeah.
Ryan, hashtag Dork Madness is rolling right along. We are the next couple of days we'll be wrapping up the first round. There's been a couple of upsets, but I think the truth is nobody that follows the podcast watches wrestling in Japan because some of the really, really famous and good Japanese wrestlers got bounced in the first round. But
like my man Shinsuke got bounced.
Shinsuke got absolutely bounced by the $1 Million Man. But Adam Cole won an absolute nail biter in the first round. Friend of the podcast. But he's moving on.
He's moving on.
We do have, unfortunately, though, Ryan.
Pick of the bomb.
Pick of the bomb. Pick of the
bomb. Pick of the bomb.
Someone who did advance in the first round and will be taking on Ric Flair in the round of 32. Scott Hall, aka Razor Ramon, passed away yesterday, and one of my 4 favorite wrestlers of all time. One of the wrestlers I really remember liking when I first started regularly watching wrestling. Because all the guys before that, for me, I would play with like the big figurines, like with my cousin, and I knew like Ultimate Warrior and Hogan, but like in 1990, I was only 6, so it was like a little bit after that. And I specifically remember the Razor Ramon vignettes when they were like introducing him, and then I remember him losing to the 1-2-3 Kid, and like that was crazy. But then he was just so fucking cool. And then his ladder match with Shawn Michaels, and then obviously him going to WCW, starting the NWO, which I don't think there was a cooler thing at the time than that.
No, and I remember the Razor's Edge, his finisher,
awesome.
Was one of the first ones I've ever seen that I'm like, that could really hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Like the way he does like the cross and then like drops the guy like right on like the back of his neck. Like,
and you got to be super strong, and nobody does that move.
No, I don't think
it's Ramon.
I think, yeah, and I think it's one of those things where people are like, we're not doing that anymore. Like you could really fuck someone up doing that.
We're done.
Like, I remember like someone doing that to me like on a mat, like a gym mat, and just being like, nope.
Can't do it.
Or even like in a pool. I'm like, I can't, no, don't. Like that's fuck. Like, and so I've seen, and what a specimen of a person. He was a big dude. And like, I remember, I mean, I'm a little bit older, but like when I first heard his voice, like I was disappointed when I heard his actual voice because I thought that that's what he really sounded like. He sold that character so well.
Yeah.
So that I thought, and he was doing like a Tony. I watched that thing about a documentary about him, and he does like it's a Tony Montana thing, and like he was doing like a Scarface thing, and I was so disappointed to find out that was like not his real voice.
I love though when he went over to WCW, he was Scott Hall, but he was still basically Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
Like,
He had the
playing
toothpick and
same-
everything. He just didn't do the accent anymore.
hair was the same. He
Yeah.
just dressed a little differently. We're like, it's the same guy, but yeah, that's a sad one. And he's a guy that it was like years ago. DDP basically saved his life with the DDP yoga.
Yes.
He was not doing well at all and kind of turned his life around. They put him into the Hall of Fame. Like, he didn't go in the WWE Hall of Fame for such a long time because they were like, we can't bring this guy up to the ceremony.
Like, we don't know what he's going to do. Yeah.
Right. But they cleaned him up. So it's obviously it's just a sad tale. Ryan, we got the trailer for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, which comes out May 25th. We also got some news about who the villain might have been and who it is no longer. Apparently Darth Maul was going to be a big part of this show, and now he is not. I'm kind of mixed on this because
I'm mixed on it too.
it's only 6 episodes, so I do want a lot of Vader. I want a lot of Vader and Obi-Wan. So
And
Darth Maul might have been kind of tough to pull off, and the trailer gives you more like Inquisitors and things like that than it does Vader anyway.
But you do get a little Vader at the end. You can slightly hear it. And thank you for pointing that out because I missed it too. You hear it at the, when the title comes up, you hear the breath. And I like the Inquisitors. I think that's something they haven't really tapped into yet. Like, once the Order 66 went through, they actually had the Inquisitors like going around hunting Jedi, which I think is
in live action, right?
No.
So it's like some of the cool stuff from the Mandalorian, and then like the limited cool stuff from Boba Fett has been kind of pulled from Clone Wars,
right.
and so I think that's what you're gonna do. So this takes place obviously after Episode 3, but for those that watch the cartoons, it's before Rebels, so it's in that kind of spot. So Darth Maul is alive, but apparently he's just not going to be involved here.
And someone pointed out something. There's a shot of an Inquisitor and there's a blaster in the foreground. And someone's saying it looks like Han's. So you could, and where they are, it's like a, they said it's kind of like Tokyo or like Hong Kong. It's like an underground kind of city. Han Solo could be there.
Could be. We saw a very young Luke Skywalker. We saw Uncle Owen Lars. And then Obi-Wan. I'm pumped for Ewan McGregor. I'm more excited for this show, I think, than any other show.
And the other thing too that people are like bitching about Maul, like if you had a person in the back, a bad guy in the background looking for Obi-Wan Kenobi, do you want it to be Maul or do you want it to be the greatest villain ever put on screen?
Yeah, if you're gonna
if I'm Filoni and Favreau, I'm like, no, like, Maul's great, but like, come on.
I'll go with Vader. You can find something else for Maul down the road.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Vader is absolutely what we need. Today we got a trailer for Ms. Marvel. This is going to be a Disney Plus show. It comes out on June 8th. As I've said before, this one definitely seems the most kid-friendly of all the Marvel shows, which is great because we're going to get Moon Knight in 2 weeks. That is not going to be kid-friendly. And so, yeah, right. I'm hopeful. Yeah. But then Ms. Marvel, I think it'll be good. Again, the everything Marvel since Phase 3, or I guess I should say Phase 4. It's not all great, but there is some stuff that's great. So we'll see.
This will be fine. I think, again, this will be not really what I'm looking for in a Marvel show, but I'm sure it has its audience, and it probably will skew younger, which is fine.
This will not skew younger. Also comes out in June. So Ms. Marvel's June 8th. June 3rd, The Boys Season 3. Jensen Ackles is going to be playing Soldier Boy, who, if you read the comics, again, I highly recommend the comics. Obviously, I've read the whole run. There are times where it kind of lulls a little bit. It's not the best for all. It's a ton of issues. It's a lot. But Soldier Boy is sort of like the Captain America knockoff. Obviously, there's an interesting relationship that he has with Homelander and with Billy Butcher. So I'm curious how this all plays out, but this show's awesome. I think they're doing the 3-episode release on June 3rd and then one a week for 8 episodes.
Have you watched the animated Diabolical yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. I haven't watched it yet either, but maybe, hey, if we both watch it, commit to watching it, we can do maybe an episode on that.
That's true. Yeah, for sure. Better Call Saul trailer. This is the final season, broken up over 2 parts, but April 18th. So all of a sudden we are
right in
a
show.
Yeah.
Can't
wait. Cannot wait for this show. DC has made a series of changes since our last episode. This greatly affects one person in the Mac and Goo movie draft. So this is the order that we're now going to see these movies. So Black Adam was supposed to come out this October. It has now been bumped up to July. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I read it wrong. Was July, has now been pushed to October. Excuse me. Shazam! Fury of the Gods was middle of 2023. That's been bumped up to December. And then Aquaman 2 was December, is now going to be March of 23. And The Flash, which we thought was going to be Flashpoint and turn all this shit around, was November of this year. That is now pumped to June 23rd of 23.
So I'm fucked in the movie draft. Those are like the Aquaman and the Flash were like my two heavy hitters. I'm boned.
Yeah, you're porked. I have Black Adam, and then nobody drafted Shazam because it wasn't supposed to come out this year.
It wasn't supposed to come out this year. I think I should get Shazam for the other two.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. That's not how this works. It's not. Come on.
Fuck that. Whatever.
What are you mad? What are you mad? I saw that movie X that I drafted with
it's
Jenna
coming out
Ortega.
Friday, right? It's getting good reviews.
100% on Tomatoes.
So is the Nick Cage movie that I think Goo drafted.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer for that. That looks bananas.
Yeah, it does.
Absolutely bananas.
Speaking of, I'm glad you mentioned Nicolas Cage. Did you see him at one of those red carpet things saying he wants to be in the next Batman?
No.
Guess what villain he wants to be?
I saw it, but you can tell it, like
Egghead. He says he could make Egghead horrifying.
I'm sure he could, and I love that. Like,
I don't want that.
I don't want that. I also saw that Robert Pattinson said very cheeky that Condiment King was his Condiment Man was his favorite.
Yeah.
And people were like, "Oh, he wanted Condiment Man." Like, no, he doesn't. It's just a joke.
I think he's having a ha-ha.
Yeah.
I think he's just kind of keeping a loose clubhouse, and I think everybody's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, let's get to this.
It's time for Davey's video game minute, even if it takes more than a minute.
All right, Ryan, what do you have?
Well, going with the theme of announcements. So we announced some things today, right? So we announced that we had the Dork Trivia and we had the live show on the 15th, and that it was Rich Keefe's birthday today, the Ides of March, the same day as the assassination of Julius Caesar in 44 BC. I received a message from Matt from 47 Brand, who told us that our promo code has been used on their website 100 times. Actually, 101, because I wound up using it again that day. But he said over 100 times. And because we are doing so well with our promo code, they have upped the percentage to now 25% on 47 Brand. So go to 47brand.com. Get you some hats, get you some shirts. If you use the promo code #dork, 25% off your order.
Oh, so if you've just been sitting on some stuff in your cart, you're just like, I don't know if I want to pull the trigger. I don't know if I should do it. 25% off, my Christ.
Give me that.
Come on, give me that. What are you doing? Get yourself something going here.
If Taffy Fubbins isn't the best baby of the year, I'll kill myself on live TV.
So a little update. I like to give people an update on what I'm doing, what I'm playing. So I'm in my rotation of I've put Horizon Forbidden West aside for a little bit.
Okay.
I'm playing a lot of Gran Turismo. And I have played. And now Dr. Joe kind of took me a little to task here. He said that I said that Elden Ring was no fun. That's not what I said. And I believe what I said. It's a very well-made game. It's a game that it's like there's no like heart to it. There's no like real story to it. It doesn't mean it's not a fun game. Actually, I take that back. Fun is not how I would describe it. It's challenging. It's gorgeous. It's technically sound. I have put now 75 hours into this game. I am over a level 100 character.
I loved it.
It's good. It's great. Right?
Yeah.
And I think what I meant was not fun is it's not for everybody, but like you get the spirit of the thing. Some dickhead beat this game in under a half hour. Let me say what I said again. I have put 75 hours into this game.
Yeah.
My character is over level 100.
Yeah.
I'm like halfway through it.
Are there shortcuts?
There has to be, but this fucking guy beat it in under a half hour. I have no idea how you're that good at this game. Like, can
What are
anyone?
15 years old? I've seen every cock on the planet.
Could be just somebody who's sitting at home playing,
and just really good at that shit.
and then said, you know what, I'm going to do some speed runs. Maybe it's that guy you like that does speed runs.
No, he only does NES speedruns.
True.
So
Yeah.
he's still grinding on Ninja Gaiden right now. We did get a PlayStation State of Play, which we saw a lot of role-playing games, and there's one game specifically that I want to talk about with you. Did you watch this? Are you familiar with this?
No, I didn't watch it.
So it's a game called Exo Primal. So it's basically like Power Rangers. So you're like in this city and you can like suit up in like these like cool suits. And you have a futuristic exosuit clash with dinosaurs.
Come on.
Sweet, sweet dino action from the people at Capcom. So are you in on that? So it's 4-player. I think it's 4-player local multiplayer.
I think I could give that a go. Oh, I meant to tell you. Guess what I got for
Go
ahead.
What'd you get?
For my birthday. Guess what I got?
What did you get for your birthday?
This was a combined gift from my wife and my parents. They came together. Oculus. I got the Oculus. Here's a quick little story on that. Played a little bit this afternoon. I did in fact get nauseous. So
it goes away after a while. As someone who gets incredibly motion sick, you do acclimate a little bit.
I need to figure it out. I got to figure out what games I want to get. I'm eyeing the Walking Dead game. I'm probably going to get that.
Yep. I would say when that happens, you have a spinny chair, right?
Yeah.
You sit down.
Okay.
So your feet, so you can like orient yourself a little, and then when you have to spin, you can actually like spin in the chair.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
That's what I do when I get motion sick. I actually sit down.
Oh, smart. Yeah, I was up in the living room today like an idiot, and just like all of a sudden I was like, "What?" I'm like, I gotta pull these off. I was playing just like some like demo of some game, and I'm like moving around chasing something, and I'm just like, I don't know where I gotta get my bearings.
I remember when we did the new Dave and Buster's at the Natick Mall.
Yeah.
When you and I went on the VR ride, and like Katie was after, she's like, "Oh, was it fun?" And you and I looked at each other, we're like, kinda. Like, we were both super sick.
Sweet dino action, but I'm not gonna do that anymore.
Yeah, Vader Immortal, I'm told, is really good.
Oh yeah, all right, yeah.
So yeah, Oculus, sweet. I'm glad you get some Beat Saber in your life.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So fun. But a lot of other games. So they saw like new Ghostwire Tokyo trailer. Forspoken is a game I think Sony's really pushing this game. It's going to be really good. They're coming out with a Cowabunga collection of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So every Ninja Turtle game and arcade game, like home release and arcade game, are coming in one package. So they're doing that, which I'm sure Goo is now having to has to clean himself up now.
Yeah.
Having just heard that.
For sure.
I'm trying to think. Returnal is getting a co-op mode, which is fun.
Okay.
And that's about it for the State of Play. But so there's that. And so the last thing, there's another State of Play coming next week in which they're showcasing the new Harry Potter game. So for all you cool kids who love Harry Potter, next week is your week.
I'd get it. I'd play Harry Potter.
You would, but if it's like an open world and like you'd have to.
Yeah.
What if you could get your own wand, custom made?
Well, I'd have to tell them a lot about myself. Just make sure they do it right.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Luna Lovegood. If anybody asks who my favorite character is, it's Luna
Lovegood.
Yep.
And she's the user way better, way more significant role in the books.
I also feel like that might be true, but I also feel like Dobby is, as the kids would say, OP. If you really think about it, they could probably solve a lot of their issues in that movie if they just let Dobby do everything, because Dobby's so ridiculously overpowered.
And he's a people pleaser. He wants to help people.
He is. I like him a lot. Oh, I also meant to. Jesus, I'm talking about all these Christmas or birthday gifts I got. I got something else. How's the lighting in here? Does it look good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a light.
So my wife's friend Caitlin, shout out to Caitlin, got me this light because she watched one of the episodes and she's like, I got to get something for him for his podcast. And then all of a sudden showed up in the mail today and boom,
key light. Boom.
So thank you. There's all different settings. I can probably even make it a little bit different or whatever, but
oh yeah,
seems like it's coming in bright.
Yeah, nice. I got one too. I got one right up there. You know, the light behind me doesn't do me any favors.
But, no, it's all about Shadow Master,
yeah,
Shadow
right. King. And so the balls on these people at Rockstar Games. Did you see this? So they released Grand Theft Auto 5 again for like next gen consoles and PC, and they're charging $30 for it.
Not my
That's
not
40
my
bucks.
30 bucks. Not my $40.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Not doing that.
Like, oh, it's got ray tracing. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I don't want it. Oh,
I've been playing this game for like 6 years. You're gonna sell it to me again? What are you nuts?
I already paid for it.
Yeah.
Overwatch 2 beta end of next month. You in on that?
That was the last bit of news I had. You're stepping on my funk a little bit, but I know you're excited because we've all signed up for the beta.
Yes.
So hopefully we do get a key. So hopefully we do actually get to play it. That would be nice.
That would be nice.
So I'm in on
Being
that.
all elite players, I feel like we probably should get invited.
I mean, we're media influencers.
Yep, that as well. For Christ's sake. So,
God damn. But that's it for me. Go to 47brand.com. Use the promo code #dork for 25% off your shit.
That's 1/4 of your order.
Like, all right, yeah. If I spend $100, I only have to pay 75. That's quick math.
Jesus, that's like a free lid and then some.
Right?
God damn it.
It's like a BOGO, as they call it.
That's probably the best deal you'll ever hear of in your life. So book it. Get some stuff. And then tweet us. Let us know what you got. We'll take a look at it.
Tag them asses in it, too.
Tag 47. I think there's at 47. Tag us at Dork Podcast, and we'll like to see what you're getting. We're rocking some 47 brand stuff. All right.
Y'all ready for biz?
Right, ready for the topic du jour?
And Jason Rossi just tweeted me something. I don't want to.
Don't click. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned it.
Yeah, holy shit.
This week in horrible Rossi takes.
I should have talked about this in the video game minute. My God.
So our buddy Jason Rossi from the Pop Culture Pile Driver podcast, he tweeted out on apparently Mario Day is March 10th.
Yeah, because it's Mario.
I get it, but I did. So March 10th, Mario Day, he tweeted out his top 11 Mario games, because that's obviously the podcasters doesn't. So he went with his they do top 11 lists on their program. And I thought I enjoyed a certain game in the Mario franchise. I thought I was sort of the leader in the clubhouse of like,
but you also have a fucking brain in your head. So
I do. I went to a prestigious prep school and a top 69 liberal arts school. So yeah, I think 69th, but still solid. He has Mario 2 as the best Mario game ever made.
I honestly think that this young man is the perfect I think he's doing this on purpose. I think he does it
maybe
as any troll does for the interaction, but
yeah,
holy shit. I mean, first of all, it's not even a fucking Mario game.
Well, it is.
It's not. It's not.
Right, it's Super Mario 2. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's not a Mario game.
It's only Mario 2 in America. The game itself is called Doki Doki Panic.
Right. Where's Rossi doing the list? Is he doing the list in Japan? Is he doing it in Antarctica? Or is he doing it in America? I'm not going to
consider it a Mario game.
It's a shitty take, but I'm not going to say it's not a Mario game. Super Mario 2. It wasn't intended to be a Mario game, but
they just took the characters and changed them into Mario characters and called it Mario 2.
His number 2 on the list was Mike Tyson's Punch Out because he's
again, what the fuck?
Dude, I fucking streamed Mario Mike Tyson this weekend.
You got popped.
I lost
Flamenco got you,
Flamenco.
Huh?
Obviously the second one. I've never ever in my life lost to him.
I've
flabbergasted. I just couldn't. He lulls you to sleep. He's asking you to hit him.
He's telling you, come on with it. Yeah.
And then he throws such a stiff left, like a stiff short left, and then a wild right hook.
He's got that big whopper. You gotta go left, right. You gotta alternate.
Boom. No, you can't just left, right all day. Second time.
Not the second time. Not in the blue ring.
I didn't lose the first fucking time. I knocked him out in 36 seconds or whatever it is.
The guy who gets Soda Popinski gets me. He's the first like real heavy hitter.
He's got wild swingers.
Oh yeah, and he does that like
and then I lost to the goddamn second. But then I kept playing and I beat him, and then I lost to fucking Sandman. Usually I beat Sandman, and then it's a coin flip on whether or not I beat Macho Man, and then I always lose to Mike Tyson. That's usually how it goes.
But then you get the code.
Not this time, and then I can get the code. But so stop watching. People keep watching that. The views are going up on that. I wish people would stop watching that because I did very, very poorly. But you can see
I think people they tune in to see you fail. I mean, that's what. Yeah.
Well, luckily there's more of that than there is the other thing. So I guess you're gonna get what you bang for or what you ask for. What is your favorite Mario game of all time, or any game with Mario in it?
I think so. My favorite. So the best one I think is Mario 64. I honestly think that's the gold standard of Mario games. I think that kind of ripped the lid off of, I would say, Super Mario World for Super Nintendo at that time was, I thought you can't do any Mario any better than that. That was the introduction of like Yoshi, and like all that stuff to that game. And I loved all like the secret paths you could find.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really cool. And then 64 like blew my mind. And then obviously you have, I love 3.
3 is my favorite. I would say
yeah.
3 is my favorite. And usually I do best and favorites the same, but I would definitely say that one's the best. And then
the Mario Kart.
Karts. Yeah, pick a kart. 64. That was the best game according to the Dork audience.
I think I did not. I put Mario Kart 8.
Oh yeah, that's a good
because
yeah, you were so mad about that.
I was mad about the Mario 64.
Yeah. All right, Ryan, we're here to talk about the Batman sequel, and
we're 40 minutes into the pod. Let's talk about that. Yeah,
it's sort of a loose topic anyway. We did Batman last week. We did a Batman preview the week before. So I think you're safe. Probably, there might be some spoilers in here, but I think you're probably good. Chances are, if you've wanted to see the movie, you've already seen it anyway.
You've already seen it.
First question, right off the rip, Batman sequel ideas. And again, this is supposed to be a Matt Reeves trilogy. There's going to be a couple of TV shows, but with the amount of success, I wouldn't be surprised if there ends up being either more shows, more movies, whatever, if they try to create a universe out of this. But for the sake of this discussion, it's just going to be about that second Batman movie. Right off the rip, what do you think the name of that movie will be?
I made a joke on Twitter. 2 Bat, 2 Man.
2 Bat, 2 Man. Two bats, 2 furious.
2 Bat, 2 Man. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with. You could probably go a few different ways here. I might go Vengeance because
that works.
He referred to himself as Vengeance several times in the film,
but it also speaks to like now people are coming after him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Matt Reeves doesn't want to be too on the nose. Like he doesn't want to take something right from the graphic novels, but I went and saw this again, so I've seen it twice now. And one of the things that they kind of set up perfectly is No Man's Land. You remember that story? So it starts essentially with the Riddler flooding Gotham.
Oh, okay.
And then they, instead of like people rebuilding it, the government tells them that everyone has to get out. So the power struggle actually happens when all of the citizens of Gotham are out, and the only people who are left are criminals and Batman. And there's no help. So he has like no police. There's just, or a very limited police interaction, and just criminals and Batman.
It's sort of like all the Arkham video games where they come up with some sort of storyline where there's no people there. It's just, yeah.
So that was No Man's Land, but I don't know if they would take that.
Yeah, I wonder how close they would want to. Yeah, right. Because they're gonna obviously be inspired again, like The Long Halloween. You're not gonna name the movie that, but they obviously adapt it in Hush. They could also name it like the Caped Crusader, right? Because if you had the Dark Knight, you can't do that again. You did the Batman. You could go Caped Crusader.
Mm-hmm.
You could go World's Greatest Detective. You could go Bruce Wayne. You could go.
There's something there.
How long after the first movie? I know we sort of hit on it a little bit last week in the episode, but do you think there's going to be much of a time jump, 0 time jump at all? What do you think and what do you want?
So what I want is like, when I say immediately, I don't mean like the next day. I mean like it has to pick up that Gotham's still flooded, that the place is still a wreck.
Yeah.
That everyone is where they were at the end of that. So it could be the next week. It could be like up to like a month, I would say, where that's like, it's still, things are still messed up, because there's a lot of things that you got hinted at that were coming next that I want to see develop. And it's one thing specifically.
What's that?
Insofar as,
because again, this will be spoilers. Again, most people see the Batman, so go ahead.
So at the end of the movie, with the whole soliloquy that Batman says, he says something like he needs to be more. Like it's not just vengeance. You can't just do that. So one of the things that I would really like them to do is see, because I said the same thing Matt Reeves said, was that I liked seeing a almost fully realized Batman, but how Bruce Wayne hasn't figured out how to be Bruce Wayne yet. Like he hasn't figured out that like playboy billionaire philanthropist thing yet.
Not at all.
And I really want to see this Bruce Wayne try that and fail.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's really trying to be more social and trying to be like have that other mask on, but he can't do it.
Can't
and
do
like
it.
really, and again, the idea of like this, mental health and like how he can't, and Alfred has to help him
Yeah.
get to do that, like how to be more Bruce Wayne.
A question that we did not touch on in the first or in our review is, what was the name of the woman that was living there with him at Wayne Manor, who was like the maid? It was a Dottie or whatever her name was. There was like
Something like that.
she was like, I don't know if she was a maid or if she was a cook or what she was. But does she know the Bruce Wayne is Batman?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but that's kind of tricky. I mean,
I think that's a thing between him and Alfred, and she doesn't.
My guess is she doesn't know either, but it's kind of
Marilyn.
Marilyn. That part's a little weird to me.
That's Maid Marilyn.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if this is like Maid Marilyn from the.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's like I want to see if it's a real character.
Probably. I don't think Matt Reeves would just make somebody up. I could be wrong. I definitely want this movie to take place though in that year 2 Batman. I like that so much because he's a force to be reckoned with, but he's not perfect. He definitely has issues, and there's no need for a huge time jump. There's only one possibility, is if you are going to introduce any of the Robins, I wonder how old they're going to be. That'd be sort of my one kind of.
So here's where I see a Robin coming into play.
Okay.
If you remember, so Talon is somehow Dick Grayson's grandfather.
I forget the exact
grandfather
bloodline or connection there, but yeah.
It's either his grandfather or his great grandfather.
Oh, if you're doing Court of Owls, you are 100% getting a Dick Grayson at some point.
But I think Dory was the name of the maid, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, you don't need Robin yet. So here's what I'm saying. You need this kid to be young, and so the whole idea was that like the Talon is a Grayson, or I forget, it's that family line.
I believe so. Yep.
So them trying to take Dick. And my idea is like the Grayson family. So the father, Grayson, took the mother away from that family. They literally ran away and joined the circus, right?
Yep.
But the Court of Owls is still after them. So they get rid of the parents and they start going after Dick Grayson. And then Bruce Wayne takes him in to hide him.
Yeah, it could be.
Or like keep him safe.
But he has to learn who the hell they are first, too.
Well, I think that's part of it, too.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
he's a kid, so he doesn't understand what's going on and why these people
No.
are after him.
Bruce Wayne. Like, I wonder right now, because one of the cool things about Court of Owls is even Batman didn't like know who they were for the longest time.
Or,
so quietly.
He could just see a kid who's being chased by people and help him. Correct. And doesn't fully understand why.
Do you think the next Robin, whether it be, and again, I know what the order is in the comics, but again, it's a movie, so they can do whatever they want. So the next one could be Jason Todd, Tim Drake. Mm-hmm. I can't be Damian because that's his kid. That's a whole other thing. Carrie Kelly, whatever. But the kid that was part of the gang that he stops like in the subway station, remember the face was half painted? That kid plays Tim Drake in the show Titans. Not that they're just going to tie those in, but do you think that kid could become a Robin? Because there's already a connection there. No, you think that's just a...
And he's too old.
Yeah, but I don't want the kid to be too young either, because that's tough. It's tough.
It is, but it's also like it plays into it's kind of fucked up. Like it's and
yeah, that's true.
And I want Alfred to kind of try to talk him out of it. Like, dude, don't, like, this is fucked up. Like, you want him to end up like you kind of thing, And I like how that in the comics and now in Titans, that's the relationship that Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne have, is just like, that was kind of fucked up what you did.
Yeah, right.
And there's friction there,
All right. So of the characters that we saw already, the question is who returns? And then the answer is either you're going to get more of this character, less of this character, the same amount, or you're not going to get this character at all.
Yep.
So clearly you're going to get Batman. And my question, though, is do we get more Bruce Wayne?
Yes.
Because we didn't get a lot in this movie.
No.
So you probably have to, which I wonder if that could be to the detriment of the movie. Because I thought Bruce Wayne, not that it was like a weak spot, but it was like the least interesting to me of all the stuff that was going on in the movie.
See, I think it could be a detriment unless he sucks at it, unless he really sucks at being Bruce Wayne, and then it speaks to the character a little bit more.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
That he, I don't want him to like come out of the gate like I think he was going to try to be like big man on campus, cool guy, and it's going to suck, and people are going to see right through it.
Alfred,
more.
Gordon,
more or same.
I think same or less if you end up getting this Gotham show. I know it's going to morph into an Arkham show, but if Gordon's in the show a lot, I think they're going to assume people watch the show just like with all the Marvel shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if you don't need him as much. Catwoman?
Not at all.
I agree. I think at least for the second movie, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Riddler.
You will get less, but he will still be a significant character.
I think he'll for sure be referenced. I'm sure there'll be a couple of scenes with him probably still in Arkham, but
I'm trying to get out. So I have another theory with that too. So.
Okay. Penguin?
More.
Probably.
And like he's like, so there's that power vacuum now. So I think he's going to play a critical role in that. And so like he's going to be the guy who's like playing both sides. So he's going to be like he's going to sell guns to whoever's buying them. He's going to sell drugs to whoever's buying them. It doesn't matter. Like he's like the chaotic neutral.
Yeah, because this movie is going to be all about who ends up being the most powerful villain in Gotham, because it was Maroni and Falcone, then Maroni went down, and then it was just Falcone, and then it was sort of like, it feels like one of the first, although Joker's already in Arkham, so I would argue that Joker and Riddler are probably the two first like Batman-inspired villains that we've seen in this world.
And I think that Maroni, Riddler, and Joker are all going to get out, and I'll tell you how.
Okay, go ahead.
So now with this new mayor, her whole thing is like, we need to restore faith in our elected officials. We need to do blah, blah, blah. We need to do things by the book. They're all going to get out. And because they're going to argue the new DA by the name of Harvey Dent is going to argue that the Batman interfered with, it wasn't a real crime. He was interfering with police activity. Yeah. And therefore you can't trust that this outsider came in and tampered with evidence, because he did. They show him constantly. And they keep saying like, what about the chain of evidence? What about blah, blah, blah? And he's like, he's wearing gloves.
Oh boy. You're all right.
That's fine. Yeah. My hat rack fell.
So do you think they get let out of Arkham, or do you think they escape or break out of Arkham?
No, it's a technicality. They're like, you can't arrest these people based on the work of a vigilante. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's going to, and everyone's going to be like, what the fuck? These guys are criminals. Be like, well, they are, but now with Real, we can't hold them because the way they were arrested. It's a technicality. The way they were arrested was unlawful.
Yeah, no, I like that. And that's an easy way to get Harvey Dent in. And he doesn't need to be a major character either.
No, but he's just like, he's the White Knight. He's doing everything by the book. He's the DA that was installed because he always does the right thing. And that just happens. And they're going to have a conversation, Batman and Harvey Dent, where Dent's like, the law's the law. Like, I can't, it is what it is. Like, I think they did what they did. Absolutely. But like, you did it. You have to play by the rules.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so who debuts? I have a long list of villains. Give me even just the percent chance that they're in there, like no chance, little chance, whatever. And then the idea of there's probably going to be a main villain, a second villain, maybe a couple of referenced / cameo villains, right? Because last movie we got Falcone, we got Penguin, we got Riddler, and then we also got Joker. They referenced Maroni, and then whatever you want to refer to as Catwoman. Like so, that's at least 6 people that Batman could go against. Hush, who again kind of was in a way was referenced in this movie, but do we get full on Tommy Elliott Hush?
Yes,
I think so too. This is my big thing, because I thought you're gonna find out that Riddler had a partner outside of the people that liked him in his chat, who was feeding him information and was helping him out, and somebody
about the Waynes,
and it had to be Hush.
And it also makes sense that like he assumes Bruce Wayne's identity.
Yeah.
So like when Bruce Wayne is trying to be Bruce Wayne, you have Tommy Elliott coming and fucking it up, which would be kind of cool if you got Robert Pattinson to play both characters.
Possible. Yeah, possible. Now, one of the most rumored guys for the upcoming movie is Mr. Freeze.
Because I think Reeves said there's a way to do this correctly.
Oh, of course. And this can be super dark, and it can be, I mean, even go back to the Batman the Animated Series. You know, they do a great job with Mr. Freeze and the whole
And
idea of
yeah.
him trying to save his wife, Nora. So you bring them both into this thing. He can be super dark. And somebody, actually, a couple people tweeted us sort of like a mock-up of potentials, and they were like, what about Giancarlo Esposito as Mr. Freeze?
That would be awesome. And I think, or someone said Bryan Cranston too.
He also could do it.
Yeah. And I believe, especially in the Arkham games, I know that Freeze resides at 44 Below. Like he has his like spot in the Penguins Club.
Makes sense. Yeah, I love how they already established the Iceberg Lounge and 44 Below. So I think Hush and Freeze are definitely possible. Two-Face, I'm with you.
You'll get Harvey Dent, but no
Harvey
Two-Face.
Dent. Yep.
Yeah.
Scarecrow?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think you need to. And we saw him in the Nolan one. I know we saw Two-Face too, but I think he's not as important. Bane?
Referenced or like an Easter egg, but not in it.
And again, because we did see the Venom that Batman shot himself with. At least that's what I assume it was, that green.
Well, people
stuff.
are like, well, it's adrenaline. I'm like, it's fucking green.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
like
It's
that's
also,
all you need to like. It doesn't matter what the shit it was. It was green.
right. And I don't
Yeah.
think it wouldn't be a reference to Bane, at least down the line. Mad Hatter.
That would be cool, but no.
Probably not. Although there's always the chance before they get let out. And I'm just working under your plot.
Mhm.
Before they get let out of Arkham, it's so easy to just go down the hallway and see like 4 doors with people in it. And so
And you don't even need to see it. You could just see, like, through the window, you could just see calendars. You don't even have to see him. You just know that he's in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Calendar Man, 100%. I like that. Here's an interesting, actually, these are all interesting. I'll be honest. Batman villains are the best.
Yeah.
Poison Ivy.
So maybe she's the connection to the Bane juice.
Yeah.
Like she's like works at Wayne and developed it for him.
It is one of the characters, though, that is the least kind of grounded in reality of the Batman villains.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like some of the stuff that she can do is a little kind of outrageous.
Yeah, like intertwining with vines and like getting lifted up like that. I don't buy that shit.
Yeah, so you probably will get her. Harley Quinn.
Mentioned. They could mention like
yeah,
this prisoner's been working with, one of our newer,
right,
Dr. Quinn, like our newest,
I think it would be pretty cool to establish Harvey Dent and Harleen Quinzel or Dr. Quinzel.
Yeah.
I don't need the villain version of them. And you can even be like, even get to a third movie and we're like, oh, maybe we'll get them. Be like, no, like you don't have to have them, but have them in Gotham and like that they're like about to
or because right now it's Arkham State Hospital, right?
Yeah.
So now you could mention Hugo Strange,
another one,
Harley Quinn, Jonathan Crane. You could mention all of them.
Yeah.
Like we have a new team of doctors. You say something to throw in, like we have a new team of doctors who are working with these criminally insane patients.
I like it.
And they'd be like, who are they? And they just throw, like they did in Justice League. Like they throw the folders of the here they are and they have all their names on them.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
So you get that one's easy for sure. What about so you mentioned Hugo Strange. What about Black Mask? And I know we got him in Birds of Prey, and it was a more humorous version with Ewan McGregor, but Black Mask could be pretty good. Like I think if you're gonna have Penguin being sort of and if you want to have more of the art, who's taking over for Falcone and Maroni, it would be like Penguin and Black Mask if you're doing it that way.
And I think that would be cool. So like Maroni gets out of prison. And now he has to deal with like Roman Sionis, and he has to deal with Penguin, and he has to deal like all these people now exist,
and they're all showing up, and they're like, "Here's our chance to fucking take over."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they do it. I've wanted this for a long time. Professor Pig.
I think, and again, I think this is like the first person you see. The way he would be like like they did in, I think it might have been The Dark Knight. The first time you see Batman. No, it was. Yeah, the scene in the garage with Jonathan Crane. Remember, he has like the Batmobile come in, but he's not in it, and he's got all the guys wearing hockey pads. But it's Jonathan.
Oh
yeah, so I think you have Pig.
Yeah,
in that regard. So he's like
Pig
the
would be interesting. That the only reason I think it's even a possibility is because this one definitely had a lot of shades of horror, and Matt Reeves might go in the horror vibe, and he's as much horror as you can get.
With that, you can do Zaz too.
Victor Zsasz would be really good. He'd be an easy guy, and you could have Zsasz work for Penguin. You could have Zsasz work for Black Mask. You could have Zsasz work for Maroni if he comes back. Like, yeah,
just the guy with all scars all over him. Like that would be cool. Yeah.
Clayface.
I don't think you can do it.
I think it'd be tricky in this world unless they take a big leap. This one just seems so, gritty,
unless he's like
real.
He's making prosthetics and like he can just like has math. He can just like switch into things. But
yeah,
again, I think you're already doing. If you're gonna do Hush, you don't need Clayface.
Yeah, I'm gonna rule Clayface out for this one. I'm gonna rule Killer Croc out as well. Same reasons. Solomon Grundy, probably not happening. What about a Ra's al Ghul or a Talia al Ghul?
I don't think you can do it, and I don't think they would because that's been done. I don't think they've done that.
I don't think so either. And then that also kind of rules out a Damian Wayne, just
right. For now.
Deathstroke.
I think you need an assassin type.
Yeah, so Deadshot or Deathstroke, Firefly, like some of these kind of guys.
Yeah, so Firefly is going to be in the Batwoman show.
Oh, okay.
The one that Reeves is that offshoot with it's what's his name? Brendan Fraser's playing him.
Wait, what?
Brendan Fraser's playing Fire.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is in the Batwoman show with J.K. Simmons.
What are we? What I am not aware of any of this stuff.
The Batgirl movie. It's coming on HBO Max.
Oh, Batgirl. You're saying Batwoman.
I know Batgirl. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Batgirl. No, but that's a DCEU movie. That is not connected to this.
Because it has J.K. Simmons. But what I mean is they're already doing that somewhere else, so I don't think they would do it here.
Yeah, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. Well, the ventriloquist? Scarface? No, probably not.
That would be cool, but I don't think.
What, Man-Bat?
No.
No Man-Bat.
No Man-Bat.
Right. Fair enough. All right, what about Bat family members? Do we get a Dick Grayson, a Jason Todd, a Tim Drake, a Carrie Kelly?
You get a Barbara Gordon.
Yeah, I think Barbara Gordon. Yeah.
Do
you think any of the main characters die in the next movie?
No.
Probably not.
Meaning like Batman or Alfred, essentially?
Yeah, no, I mean like any like big time character.
No, Gordon can't die yet because he's not commissioner yet.
No.
I think he gets made commissioner in the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't think he needs to either.
Mm-mm.
Well, maybe if you want to counter, I bet Mr. Freeze's wife Nora dies, and that's
she's already dead.
Yeah, right.
So
gonna save her. All right, here's the other question, because one complaint people have had for this movie is that as good as it is, it's too long. Do you think Matt Reeves? You and I didn't have that complaint, but that is out there. Do you think that he makes an effort to make sure that it is, say, under 2.5 hours?
No, I think if I'm him, I'm like it's long. It's as long as it needs to be.
Yeah,
and I think DC is going to be like, or Warner Brothers is going to be like, they're going to give him the Filoni treatment, just like do what you do,
do what you want, do what you
want.
And
I think one of the greatest things that we're seeing right now, whether it be Star Wars, whether it's Marvel, I would say Marvel is a little trickier, because there are so many different directors. But you think like Star Wars, you think DC, they're starting to trust people.
Oh yeah.
Like I think Star Wars is Filoni. I think this Batman, it's got to be Reeves. Like Reeves has to have a hand in everything.
Yeah.
Anything having to do with Batman, you ask Matt Reeves. Anything having to do with the extended Star Wars universe, you ask Dave Filoni.
Yep, pretty much.
That's your guy.
Those guys are super fans and they know exactly what they're doing.
And I think I love the fact that studios are starting to trust these people. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, again, you go back to some of how these movies were made in the past, and the producers just had way too much influence, and they didn't trust like the writers and the directors, and the producers would just force things on them.
Like,
they completely change. Like, oh, this is a good script. Like, we're gonna gut half of this though, and you're like, well, that's why it's so ridiculous now.
Well, that one of my favorite examples of that is when they tried to do. Kevin Smith was writing Superman with Nick Cage.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great documentary.
And they were like,
"That's the John Peters." No, John Peters. That was the one where he's like,
"I need a big spider," and he's like, "Why the fuck do you need a big spider?
You don't.
Like, it has nothing. Brainiac isn't a big spider. Like, what are you talking about?"
Good news is he also was able to get that big spider in Wild Wild West, which is.
And how did that go? And that Superman movie never got made.
I remember seeing that in the theater, Wild Wild West.
I thought the things they had on their neck with the buzzsaws coming at them was pretty terrifying. But you know what was not terrifying was the big mechanical spider.
Yeah, not great. Didn't need it at all. Anything else on this? And what would be a good? How far away can this movie come out where you'd be okay with it?
Like they said, someone said under 5 years. Which is a little too long. I would like to see. If I were them, if I were an executive at Warner Brothers,
That seems long, doesn't it?
it seems long. But if I were an executive at Warner Brothers and saw a test screening of this movie, I would have said, start filming the next one immediately.
Yeah.
Like start writing the script right now.
All right, so The Dark Knight, which again, up until this point, everybody was saying was the best movie in the best trilogy. Batman Begins was 05, Dark Knight was 08, Dark Knight Rises was 12.
I think 3 years is a sweet 3 years.
And then they went 4. 3 and 4. You can't have multiple Olympics go by where you don't get another Batman movie.
I think 3 years is the sweet spot.
I'm with you. I think that's pretty good. Anything else on the Batman?
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's great.
Pick of the bomb.
Pick of the bomb. Pick of the bomb. Pick of the bomb.
All right, Ryan, would you like to kick, receive, defer, or you may also choose at this time to defend a goal?
I will receive because I have a pick of the pod and I also have I don't know how you feel about this. Pick, right? So my pick of the pod, I watched this. I find this young lady to be absolutely delightful. If you have not watched Taylor Tomlinson's new special, Look at You on Netflix, it came out Friday. She's great. She's super funny, super smart. I think she's an amazing comedian. I think she's like 26 to 27 years old now. So she's young, but she's great. She's an amazing comedian. Go check out her special. And I watched Turning Red on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Any good?
Yeah. It's good.
All right.
But it's essentially Teen Wolf.
Oh, Teen Wolf was fine.
I like Teen Wolf.
Yeah, Teen Wolf was, I guess.
But I was annoyed because we watched kind of like a making of. I was watching it with my daughters, like how and it was great. It was a team of mostly women, an Asian woman director so the story was near and dear to her heart. It was something great, but she's like, with the story, we tried to do something different. I go, he's fucking Teen Wolf. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's not that different.
It's not that different. It's so I put the analogy on Twitter. It's like Fern Gully and Avatar. Like,
right.
It's visually, it's great, and it's a good movie on its own, but it's just a shinier version of another movie.
Yeah.
And if you watch Turning Red, it's essentially fucking Teen Wolf, except they're talking about periods and girls.
All right.
Yeah.
I watched The Adam Project on Netflix. That's the new Ryan Reynolds, Jennifer Gardner, Zoe Saldana, Mark Ruffalo movie.
So I'm excited. I'm interested about this. How did you feel about this?
I liked it. I would probably go 4.5 stones.
Okay.
Fun. Again, the concept pretty interesting. The soundtrack really good. I mean, it's not Guardians of the Galaxy, but it has some Guardians of the Galaxy vibes to the soundtrack.
Because it has like time travel. Time travel is involved, right?
Yeah, yes. Oh yeah, 100% there's time travel. And there's some good action scenes. And Ryan Reynolds can only go so far as to not play Ryan Reynolds.
Right. And the reason I'm interested in this movie is because the guy who directed that is now slated to direct Deadpool 3.
Sean Levy, who also did Free Guy.
Yes.
So Free Guy better than this movie, but this movie wasn't bad. And now you're right. Now he's also going to direct Ryan Reynolds again in Deadpool 3. I think Deadpool 3 probably can't miss. I think Reynolds knows exactly what he's doing with that character.
Well, now he's got carte blanche to do whatever.
Yeah.
And with the multiverse, so like
do whatever he wants. They could be really
whatever
good.
he wants. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but this movie was good. And I would have to, like, off the top of my head, I don't know if there's been a better straight to Netflix movie, because I feel like even the best movies are like the Extraction, and
I'm trying to see like there
Bird
was
Box. Like, what are the best Netflix originals?
Uncle Tom.
No, that wasn't.
I thought it was.
No, that wasn't.
I thought that was part of like Sandler's deal, but
no, that one wasn't. I think this Hustle movie that's coming out, he's got a couple other ones, but No, I mean, I'm trying to think. It was literally Extraction. I think The Irishman. I think.
Oh my, fuck that movie.
No, I know.
Ballad of Buster Scruggs was good.
This was better. Adam Project was better.
Mitchell's versus the Machines is probably my favorite.
Oh yeah. That was
movie.
good. I forgot that was just straight to Netflix. But as far as live action, I would say this one was better.
Not Da 5 Bloods, I tell you that.
No. Nope. This is better than that.
But I'm looking at a list of all the movies that were released straight to Netflix, and one of them is Uncut Gems.
I don't believe you.
I'm reading. It's on the. I can share my screen.
Uncut Gems.
You say it right.
Gems. It's on Netflix now. Release dates December 23rd. Here, hold on. Let's see.
I also like Dolomite Is My Name. I thought that was awesome.
So it was released in limited theaters in the United States December 13th, 2019, nationwide Christmas 2019, internationally on Netflix in January 31st, 2020, began streaming in the United States May 25th, 2020.
Okay.
So no, it was in theaters for like a good 6
But
months.
I think they did that because I think you have to release it in theaters for it to be nominated for Oscars.
Could be. That's what they did with The Irishman. They gave it like a limit in like Marriage Story. It's like, it's in the theater, but it's also, but whatever. This one's up there would be my point. It's pretty good. Not the best movie I've seen all year. I've seen some pretty good movies so far, but The Adam Project is definitely worth the watch. Next week, maybe we do Deep Water, the Ben Affleck Ana de Armas movie. We discussed it last week. People in the chat thought we needed a little bit more dork erotica. This could be it. Maybe something else will pop up. So don't put it in pen, but put it in pencil. Deep Water for next week. Because what else do we got? Because we can't even do the first episode of Moon Knight. That won't be out yet. We'll have to figure out what we're doing. But again, live show May 15th at Idle Hands along with Mac and Goo. So put that in pencil. 47 brand. It's now 25% off your order. Enter hashtag Dork at checkout. And what else? Is that it? Yeah, you good? Let's get this bread.
Let's get this bread.
You don't give a shit about anything, do you?
What'd you say? I
said you don't give a shit about anything, do you?
Not really.